So the Carolina Panthers have finally made a good move. They re-signed their star defensive tackle, Derrick Brown. He's one of the best run stoppers currently in the NFL. I think the Panthers learned their lesson with the whole Brian Burns situation. I really don't know why they just couldn't re-sign them both. It's honestly like having Brian Burns and Derrick Brown on a defense. Those are two solid franchise foundation pieces going forward for the next 5 years minimum. But for some reason, they felt some way about Brian Burns and they let him go to New York, and they felt differently with Derrick Brown. It's a 4-year deal, $96 million extension that includes $63.165 million in guaranteed money. So that's definitely a high-end contract for a defensive tackle. So far, the Panthers this offseason have lost linebacker Frankie Louvu and safety Von Bell and the DB Dante Jackson. But they also added DJ Wonnum and Jadeveon Clowney, which is a good piece. So right now you got Derrick Brown and Clowney on the first level of that defense. You add another guy to that line, and that's a pretty good first level of a defense. Like, not bad. This past year, Derrick Brown had a breakout season. He made his first Pro Bowl, and he also set a league record for tackles by a defensive lineman with 103. So overall, a good move for the Panthers after a not so great move with trading Brian Burns, in my opinion. But with that being said, it's going to be interesting to see what the Panthers do in the draft this year. Obviously, they do not have the first overall pick, which is completely crazy to think about, that they traded Bryce Young for essentially the first overall pick. Like, the Carolina Panthers could have had Caleb Williams as their quarterback, but instead they have Bryce Young. So crazy world we live. So the Panthers 2024 picks, they don't have a first round pick unless they make a trade. Their first pick in the draft is number 33 overall. Their second is number 39 overall from the Jets. So that's not bad. You have 2 second round picks at the top of the round. So you could get 2 quality players right there. And the Panthers definitely have a lot of holes that they need to address, especially if they want to salvage Bryce Young's career in any sort of way, because I don't know, man. Like, last year Bryce Young looked XFL worthy, UFL worthy, excuse me. Like, I hope he gets it together. I hope the Panthers could kind of be somewhat competent. And, I mean, it was fun when the Panthers had their run with Cam Newton, and even when, you know, it was post that MVP year, post that Super Bowl year, you know, they had Carolina rocking. Like, that stadium was always full. It was good energy, and they always felt competitive. And then Cam just kept getting hurt, fell off, and I saw this video a while ago about just comparing the fan attendance back like mid-2010s to the last couple of years. It is a complete ghost town in Charlotte. It's completely just, everyone just gave up. They moved on, and you know, after last year, I don't really blame them, but man, it's kind of sad seeing an NFL franchise, an NFL team just becoming like a wasteland. What do y'all think? Do you think Bryce Young could turn around this year? I hope he does, man. I hope he does. But back to what I was saying with the Panthers in the draft, they definitely have some needs. They really should use their first pick on a receiver, again, to really try to salvage and give Bryce Young an opportunity to succeed in this year. This is a receiver-heavy draft, so they could still get a quality guy for sure. Likely prospects available are Kean Coleman, Xavier Worthy, Troy Franklin. Solid dudes that could definitely help out Bryce Young. Secondly, they definitely need a running back. Last year, Miles Sanders was a huge bust in that signing, which I was kind of surprised. Like, Miles Sanders showed flashes with the Eagles. Yeah, he had a lot of injury issues, but he showed flashes. But with Carolina, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And his backup, Chuba, however you want to pronounce it, he was okay. He's decent. I don't think he's a starting running back in this league, but you could keep him on the team, maybe like a third down back, but they definitely need a running back. They definitely need a bruiser. They definitely need just like some sort of presence back there. Again, the point that the Carolina Panthers need to emphasize going forward: help Bryce Young. Just give the guy a shot, man. Because right now his receiving corp, his running backs, they're not doing him any favors whatsoever. Thirdly, they could target a linebacker, especially with trading Brian Burns. It's definitely a big hole. As far as the first round in the draft, I doubt a lot of linebackers will be taken. So I feel like they'll definitely have the option of taking a top 5 prospect at one of their first 2 picks in the draft. So that's definitely a possibility. Fourth, I think they should really target a tight end. Right now, the Panthers don't have any great tight ends on their team. With Tommy Tremble and Ian Thomas. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you've never heard of them either. So, who knows? Sometimes there are some gems in each draft, like a George Kittle. You got Brock Bowers. Obviously, he's not going to be available, but I just think, again, I'm going to reiterate. You need to help Bryce Young, because honestly, if the Panthers have another terrible year, Bryce Young is probably done in Carolina. And that's probably another 3 years of rebuilding. But hypothetically, if they have a competitive year, if they give Bryce Young a shot here, if they just supplement him with a crop of somewhat respectable weapons, you could build off of that for 2025 and really go from there. But this is really a key year, man. They really need to get this right. They really need to show that Bryce Young is competent and that overall the Carolina Panthers are competent. So, with that being said, what do y'all think? Do you think Bryce Young is going to bounce back this year? Who do you think the Panthers should take with their first 2 picks in the 2024 draft? Let me know what y'all think. Let's go, Bryce Young. You got this, bro. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
To the opponent's side of the field. He's averaging about 4 yards a carry. The ball is spotted right at the 46. Let's go. 2nd and 4. Brandon Oliver with the grab. That's a gain.